What's up everyone? Today, I'm showing you every step from mixing and fermenting my Polish pizza dough recipe for maximum flavor to get that perfect bake and undercarriage. So grab your pizza peel, crank up the oven, and let's make this beauty. In a recent video, I tested the theory of using Neapolitan style dough to make New York style pizza. However, this time I'm adding 4% of olive oil to the dough, which is going to create a nice brown crust, cracker-like texture, and a nice sturdy undercarriage. So into my mixer, I'm adding the Polish, adding half of the amount of the cold water, adding all of the flour and the salt on top. I'm going to close it up and start to mix at a very low speed. Please guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, watch till the end, and share this video with pizza enthusiasts like yourself. Once you see the dough come together on that low speed, start to crank it up to medium high, and then slowly add in another dosage of this water, and always wait until that dough comes back together. As you can see, it's almost reaching 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so I'll crank the mixer to high, add in the last drops of cold water, and then that's when we can go in with the olive oil. This oil is the key for this New York style pizza, and I like to add it at the end to emulsify into the dough to make it silky smooth. My final desired dough temperature will be 78 degrees Fahrenheit today. I'm going to let it rest in the mixer for 2 minutes before I take it out. Adding on that extra 4% olive oil brought this total hydration up to 73%. Some things you'll need to succeed with this dough here is strong flours, a good mixer, and lots of practice. I would recommend using a stronger flour for your Polish, like a bread flour or a Manitoba flour or even a type 0 flour. And then for the dough, use anything like all-purpose or 00 flour is my go-to. Luckily, I have flours that are around 300 W content, which is great for a nice gluten structure and a longer fermentation time. So let this dough rest and bulk ferment at 1 hour around 70 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and as you'll see, it becomes very rested, so put a little flour and let's get to shaping. The recipe I left you down in the description makes a dough mass of around 850 grams total. This way, you could decide whether you want to make smaller 12-inch size pizzas or even big 18-inch size pizzas. For the big 18-inch, I did 580 gram dough ball, which left me with a 260 gram dough ball for a 12-inch size pizza. So if you want to make a 14-inch pizza, go anywhere by 350 to 400 grams should be fine. So right here, let's proof the dough at room temperature for 1 more hour before we pop it into the fridge for that cold ferment. This is what it looks like after that 1 hour proof. And into the fridge, I'm going to go in for 24 hours. So when it's pizza night, your dough should be nice and puffy in the fridge. Take it out at least 30 minutes before baking. I have all the ingredients here, and I even weighed them out to make the perfect 18-inch pizza. Find the details in the description. I actually enjoy the 73% hydration for this recipe because it's easy to stretch. People think New York pizza needs to be a low hydration, and it's wrong. Pizza can be any hydration. It depends on how you bake it and how long you bake it. So in a home oven, I go for that higher hydration and a longer bake which gets a nice and light, crispy dough. And the same idea with that last video I posted to show you how to stretch pizza, I implement it here with New York style as well. I press the outer crust first, I make sure I don't focus too much on the center, and I repeat by flipping the dough on both sides, giving it that same amount of love. And always I resort to this technique because for me, it's an easy way to stretch the pizza and to have a nice sturdy bottom. And as soon as you go 1 to 2 full rotations, I'll tuck my knuckles under and give it that simple toss. But just understand that this dough is heavy, has a little high hydration, so it will stretch very easily. And if you are executing an 18-inch pizza, you will need this pizza screen. You could easily find it on Amazon. So I have a full entire recipe for tomato sauce. Today, I'm using muti, polpa tomatoes, which are nice and chunky, but they're pureed. It has the skin. I think it has a little bit of the seeds, but it's a nice texture for New York style pizza. I'm loving it. So my oven has been preheated for 1 hour at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. It's important to preheat that oven. I have a baking steel in there and it's baking on the bottom rack for 12 minutes without any cheeses, just the sauce. This way the pizza dough settles and we're going to add on some Pecorino Romano cheese. This is the Locatelli brand and I'm going on with that part skim Galbani mozzarella cheese that I hand shredded. This cheese melts perfect in a home oven. I'm also topping this with the Cup and Char Hormel pepperoni cups. I am not being skimpy with this pie at all. I'm making this like the ultimate New York style pizza with a modern take. I'm doing pepperoni, hot honey, burrata, Parmigiano, basil at the end. Like this is the ultimate pizza. So as you can see, the pie on the bottom side is still white. So we're going to pop it back into the oven to bake on that bottom rack for 5 minutes long. Then I'll take it off of the screen, put it directly onto the baking stone, transfer the oven's temperature to 500 degrees, broil, bake it for another 2 minutes. Check the bottom, it's nice and crispy. Pop it right into the broiler for another 5 minutes broiling.
Come on, dog.
Now, when doing New York style pizza at home, it's all about the ratio and it's about how the ingredients cook and how the crust browns. So, this pizza was perfectly cooked, brown on the bottom and on the top.
A Neapolitan recipe, but as like a New York pizza form. So like a 18-inch.
Yeah, I see that.
I didn't overdo it with the sauce. So, there's going to be no flop whatsoever, no sag, and no drippage of any ingredient. I think this just proves that Neapolitan pizza can definitely be used for New York style. Just with a little bit of oil to help with the browning and to get the nice light crisp, works like a dream.
Damn. Boom. Come on, brother.
I'm obsessed with doing the pizza up with the works. The works can be considered burrata, hot honey, chopped basil, freshly grated Parmigiano, and a glug of extra virgin olive oil. It creates like the most luxurious modern style pizza ever. On top of the creamy burrata dollops, I go with cracked black pepper. These secret little steps make the difference. And I enjoy finishing my pizza with sliced basil using scissors. It's just so old school, but it feels so right. The basil stays nice and fresh. You don't have to worry about it wilting over time. It's going to bring a nice freshness to your pizza that does need after all of these luxurious ingredients.
No, hombre. Está pasado, Julian. Pecorino romano.
Parmigiano.
Parmigiano.
Come on, doggy. We eating the best pizza in Miami.
The basil.
So we got the oil.
The basil. That's
But-
crazy.
Got the hot honey.
Honey vinegar.
No, you put a
It'll
little
be
vinegar to
vin-
give it a little
Do you think
twang.
it'll be like vinegary
Nah, bro.
or nah?
Vinegar is to cut through all of the richness. You know, you're gonna feel like a little twang, but it's not gonna be crazy.
No, that soury
Nah.
flavor.
All right, now the texture of this crust is unbelievable. It's nice and brittle. It has a chew to it, like it's still fluffy.
That's not a shot.
The center part is like a pie cracker crust. It has layers to it, but it's nice and sturdy. Every bite has a crunch to it. And I'm telling you, all of these ingredients here are super heavy, and the bottom undercarriage holds up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for next week's, where I'm going to show you New York style pizza in a portable oven.
New York and Miami. New York and Miami.